Shut up.
Oh, I'm super gay. Close together on
I'm
this plane.
saying
Really horny.
you refuse to fuck off.
So
I'm gay. I'm gay. Fuck up.
What's up guys, SLOTH here, and today we're taking a first look at Playerunknown Battlegrounds. This is a little bit unusual, this is not gonna be completely serious. I will also point out that I'm a complete noob at any kind of survival shooter, and this may trigger some people. Just saying this in advance, let's get into it. So we're starting off the game here, having a quick look around. This is basically the loading area. You can pick up some weapons, enemies are invincible, but it's kind of fun, to be honest, just to mess around with things. This was very promising when I first got into it. I actually had a lot of fun messing around with the weapons and all that stuff, and just getting used to the mechanics this way. I really like that. Fast forward into the game, we have this lovely plane flight where you will totally not get insulted by all the other players that are on the same plane and just get... touch it with fucking bad microphones. What the fuck, guys? Let's just get out of this plane and just see where we land. This might take a moment. Well, thank fuck that is over. By the way, does anyone notice a shit ton of fucking stuttering? Yeah, that's right. I thought my 4 years old PC could handle the game on low settings while recording it without even streaming. Optimization, man. But hey, let's put that red dot sight on a gun. Well, maybe that one? I can just drag that over, right? If I drag it a third time, it's probably gonna work, because that's how it works, right? Well, fuck that shit. By lowering the settings, we have successfully eliminated all the lag, hello, in the game, clearly, because now we're playing pretty much on the lowest settings. The game looks friggin' beautiful. So it's time to head off into our next adventure. Alright, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, wow, this picking up shit joke is getting really old. We get it, it takes a long time to pick up stuff in this game. But what I'd like to remind you of is that is literally the gameplay. That is literally all I did. All the scenes in between were just me walking to the next house. That was it. Walking to the next house, picking up more items with a very clunky pickup system that doesn't respond all the time and sometimes picks up the wrong thing because they're very close to each other as well. So yeah, that was my game so far. We should be good now though, right? I spent all this time farming up good equipment, so I think I'm all set to just go to the area and maybe fight a little bit. So I'm actually quite confident with this. Well. I mean, my positioning was pretty shit, so tough luck. Next one will go better. By the way, did you know there's a death counter on top? By the time I had landed, 2 people were already dead. I don't know how, but they were. Oh, we got a church over there. That actually looks pretty cool. I want to see if there's something special in there, because we've been in all these houses and, you know, the houses don't really have anything, well, that I would consider special. They just have the same helmets, the same guns, the same armor, all that kind. Oh, we are starting to lag a little bit. I don't know what's happening here. Maybe the textures of the church are just too much for my PC to handle. Who knows? Well, let's get in. We can probably go through the window here. If we start lagging, yeah, okay, cool, we can. And now we're just gonna have a look around, and there is actually pretty much nothing here. I mean, how can I even use that? I guess I just used it. And, well, that was totally worth going into that church, because it's clearly a special building, and there's nothing in there. And that's totally what you expect from a special building, right? Alright. We actually found something cool. Half the people in the game are still alive. I have not seen anyone around me at all. But we found something cool. We found a buggy. This is sick. I'm just gonna drive around with this, see where it takes me, see what it does. I think it's fun. It looks cool. And I'm gonna figure it out. Alright, we're in our second attempt to find something cool. I found this old building on the map, this ruins or whatever it is, and I want to check that out. It's actually right in front of us, so let's see how this is, what this does, and let's hope that we actually find something better here. I don't have too much time. I have to get to the marked area within 2 minutes, so let's just have a bit of a look around, hope we find something quickly, and then just drive on to that area. I think with the bug we should be able to get there relatively easily. We'll see. Gotta find a good parking spot, and then we just have a look around. We found a gun and a painkiller, so pretty much nothing worth speaking of. Now it's time to get down to that safe area. You know, see what we can do there. Making my way downtown, walking. Well, shit. See guys, this is the part where I tell you that I'm a theory crafter and this was absolutely 100% calculated. At this point even I think that the fast forwarding is getting super old, so we just skip ahead way further into the probably most exciting scene that I had in my whole playtime. And by that I mean hiding in a bush. Because I knew there was an enemy on the other side, which I saw briefly. And I realized that he could not see me in a bush. So I stayed in the bush and waited in the bush. Because I knew the only way I would survive this is if I hid in the bush until he came out in the bush. Yeah, okay, fuck that. Let's just skip to the part where I get shut down. Because it really is so fucking boring. I'm so sorry. Well, that was exciting, wasn't it? Made it to rank 7. Saw a single person that ran away from me before I died to the one that shot me. That was exciting. Let's just try again. For this last game I actually have a very different approach, because there's this military base at the edge of the map, and I was like, you know, let's try something else. Let's see what we can get in a military base. Should be a lot of good weapons there. Should be worth going over there. It's at the very edge of the map, so it's super risky because you need to get into the safe zone in time. You can see it, it's down there. I did not see anyone else actually trying to fly there. So let's hope for the best. It's actually all fenced off, so I hope we find a way to get in there. Well, or we conveniently have symmetrically cut entrances in all the fence pieces. Because that's the thing in your average military base. I'll spare you the gruesome details of farming this military base under time pressure because I need to get the safe zone. What you can see here is that I got some decent defensive equipment, but I didn't actually get a gun at all. I got a single grenade. So apparently the average household in this area holds a lot more guns than a military base, which totally makes sense because who would put guns in a military base? We nearly made it to the safe area in time, so I think this one could actually be good. We have some decent stuff, right? No. Okay, real talk. Playerunknown is not a terrible game. It is actually, in its concept, quite fun, and I know that a lot of people enjoy it already. I do think that if you play with friends, it's probably a lot more fun than on your own. But there are some issues with this game, which you've seen now, that really bother me. A, it is very poorly optimized so far. It runs like hell on any computer that isn't up to date with the current technology, like standard of at least 2016. It does have weird flaws when it comes to picking up items, which make it very clunky when such an essential part of the game is picking up items. It does suffer a bit from the fact that you pretty much almost never find anyone because the map is so huge and there are relatively few players on this very map. And the combat feels weird. Almost every game I had, I didn't really die in a 1v1 fight where we actually shot each other, but rather because eventually you have to go out into the open to move somewhere and there are big open fields with not much coverage, which means you basically almost always die by getting shot in the back. Clearly a more experienced survival player will have a lot more success than I would with this because I'm such a noob at this kind of game and any game in general. And also playing with a friend would help obviously to cover each other's back and so on. But it just does not feel very satisfying for a beginner just jumping into the genre, from my standpoint at least. I feel like if I had a better computer that would help in that regard as well. But, you know, it's all kinda for initial experience. I understand that the H1Z1 community needed something new. It's not for me so far. Maybe that will change. With that, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this, feel free to click that subscribe button and maybe the bell next to it. I would really appreciate that. It really helps me out. See you for the next one tomorrow. SLOTH, out.